Luminara, a realm woven from starlight and dreams. Here, celestial eclipses were not events to be feared, but celebrated. They were the sky's grand ballet, sun and moon locked in a celestial dance, painting the world with darkness and light. During these magical alignments, the villagers of Elderglow would gather. They'd watch as the sun, a celestial orb of gold, began its slow, graceful dip behind the moon. The world would dim, shadows lengthening, anticipation growing, then totality. The sun would vanish completely, swallowed by the moon's embrace. Darkness would descend, but it was a gentle darkness, shot through with the moon's silver light. It was a darkness that shimmered and pulsed with magic. This was when the true enchantment began. Rainbows, spun from moonlight, would arc across the sky. Flowers would burst into song, their petals trembling with melodies only heard during these enchanted nights. The air would crackle with energy, laughter echoing through the village as the people of Elderglow reveled in the magic of the eclipse. Like and subscribe for more stories. But this eclipse was different. A disquiet hung in the air, a discordant note in the symphony of light and shadow. The darkness that descended was deeper, colder. It clung to the land like a shroud, silencing the songs of the flowers, stealing the laughter from the villagers' lips. Unseen, unheard by the revelers, an ancient curse stirred. It whispered from the heart of the eclipse, its voice a sibilant hiss that slithered through the darkness. It had slumbered for centuries, bound within the eclipse's shadow, waiting for the moment to awaken. That moment had arrived. The curse seeped into Elderglow, a creeping miasma that tainted the very air they breathed. The villagers, caught in their revelry, remained oblivious. They didn't notice the subtle shift in the light, the way the shadows seemed to writhe and twist with a life of their own. They didn't notice, not until it was too late. Edric, the village baker, known for his hearty laugh and even heartier bread, paused in his celebration. A shiver ran down his spine, a sudden chill that had nothing to do with the cooling air. He looked around, his brow furrowed, a sense of unease settling over him. He glanced at his neighbors, their faces illuminated by the eerie light of the eclipsed sun. Something was wrong. Their smiles seemed strained, their eyes glazed with an unnatural light. He opened his mouth to speak, but the words caught in his throat. A searing pain shot through his head, a blinding white light flashing behind his eyes. When the pain subsided, he reached up to wipe the sweat from his brow. His hand brushed against something rough, something different. He stumbled back, fear gripping his heart as he caught sight of his reflection in the window of his bakery. His face, once kind and jovial, was now twisted into a grotesque mask of malice. His eyes glowed with a malevolent red light, his teeth filed to sharp points. He was no longer Edric the baker. The curse had claimed him, twisted him into something monstrous. The transformation spread through the village like wildfire. Laughter turned to screams, joy to terror as the villagers of Elderglow succumbed to the curse. Their forms shifted, their humanity stripped away, replaced with something monstrous, something hungry. The once familiar streets of Elderglow now bathed in the eclipse's unnerving light, twisted into a grotesque parody of their former selves. Buildings groaned and buckled, their timbers warping and twisting as if alive. The sweet scent of baking bread was replaced by the stench of decay and something ancient, something evil. A thick fog rolled in, blanketing the village in an eerie silence. It wasn't a natural fog, this much was clear. It pulsed with the same malevolent energy that now throbbed in the heart of Elderglow, swirling and coiling like a living entity. The flowers, once so vibrant and full of life, withered and died. Their petals, once so brightly colored, now hung limp and gray, their sweet songs replaced by a mournful rustling in the unnatural wind. The very air seemed to crackle with menace, the once enchanting darkness now a suffocating presence.